First of all, I was doing my research, and then I found out that you studied for like 4 years in the Netherlands.
I did, yeah.
And then I also hear that you was capable to speak some Dutch. Is that true?
Een beetje.
Klein beetje.
Yeah, a little bit.
I was also reading that you have like a heavy injury, like over the last, if I say it good, last 2 years almost now.
Yeah.
Can you maybe explain a little bit what happened and how you recovered from that at this stage?
Yeah, so I was playing out in Argentina for Great Britain, and in the middle of the match, I got a bump to the side of the head, and it was a bit of like a weird accident. And then I developed concussion from that. So first symptoms were headache, and I was really irrational and really emotional. So I did all the concussion tests when I went off the pitch with the doctor, and she was like, "No, you can't go back on." And at that point, I got like really angry and emotional. And looking back, I knew something wasn't right. And then over the next kind of 3 or 4 days, it was all right. I had to wear sunglasses, and I wasn't able to be in loud rooms and stuff. But then when I flew back to England, then things started to get really bad, and I couldn't move really without feeling sick and dizzy. I was really sensitive to light and noise. I was having headaches like every day, near enough like all the time. And yeah, I just really struggled with movement, and that lasted, well, I didn't play hockey for 10 or 11 months. I started back playing in December, and it happened in February.
Yeah, and did it? So when this happened, was it for you also that you even thought of that you maybe not can play anymore? Like,
yeah, there were times, not when it happened, because I thought, oh, it's just a small concussion, it won't be long. But there were times, certainly like 4 or 5 months down the line, when I was still getting daily headaches, and I thought, am I going to able just to live a normal life? Because I wasn't able to do normal things. Like I wasn't able just to go out with friends for coffee or do anything social, really, because with the light and the sound stimulus and the movement and everything, it just flared up all my symptoms. So yeah, there was a lot of soul searching going on, and hoping that I'd just be able to live a normal life rather than actually play hockey. And there were times when I didn't think I would, but with the right support and medical like intervention and stuff, and help with my mindset, I was able to recover, and here I am. Well, before COVID-19 hit, I was happy and healthy and back playing again.
If we look to you as a player, how would you describe yourself in your strong points, and maybe also points that you have to maybe still develop?
Yeah, I'd say from an outsider's point of view, I'm a kind of player that doesn't do that much from a spectator's point of view, but from within the team and from the coaches, I think they respect all the work that I do. So I do a lot of off the ball running and covering players and organising. My game is very simple. I do all the simple things and the basic things pretty well, and I'm one of my strengths is that I'm quite consistent. I'm always level. I'm never a 4 and then a 9 and then a 3 and then a 10 out of 10.
So it's like average, but like
it's always pretty consistent, so you know what you're going to get with me. And points that I want to improve on is I want to be more of a goal scoring midfielder. So I've been encouraged by my coaches to get forward more, because I certainly have the skills to do it, but it's just the mindset and getting out and doing it. So that's one thing that I really want to develop.
So actually we can say that if you have a car and you can paint, you can change the paint, it doesn't really change the car, but if you take the motor out of the car, which you never notice, then the car never drives as it used to do.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of how I how I see myself. I'm not a flashy player that's going to make the crowd go like, whoa.
Yeah. But without you, it can be like a disaster. Like you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If we look to your game, when you play the game, do you have like favorite tricks or favorite moves to do to maybe pass a player or to?
Yeah, I think my tricks are to get in the space to receive the ball away from the player. So you kind of a little bit one step ahead, so you don't have to go into contact with them. I think that's how my game is, and I watch a lot of video and from other teams, and also like football and stuff, and see how players in the midfield use those pockets of space in there. And then other skill wise, my game is more of a passing game, so try and pass the ball and find people running through rather than dribble myself.
So if is it also then that you maybe even you told before you want to be a more scoring midfielder, but is it not more important for you than to give assists instead of scoring goals then maybe?
Yeah, of course, as a midfielder, you do want to give assists, but I think in the past I've been reluctant to shoot and to get inside the circle. And yeah, in the past kind of couple of months that we were playing, when I was doing that in training and in games, and I was getting shots off and scoring goals. So
how, because the COVID-19 is now here. How is training going now? Because I can imagine it's pretty difficult now.
Yeah, it's tough. The first couple of weeks were quite stressful because the Olympics were still on, so you were trying to train as much as you could and as hard as you could with very limited equipment and resources, which was pretty stressful and quite difficult. Now the Olympics have been postponed till next year, it has allowed me and most other athletes just to kind of take a step back a bit and not push as hard as you can because there's more time now. So yeah, it's been good. Here in England, the weather's really good. So touch wood that stays, because that means training outside is much easier than when it's cold. I've got a couple of bits of gym equipment at home which you can do so much stuff with. So we've been given quite a lot of flexibility in terms of if we want to follow a structured program or if we want to just do our own thing. And I've been kind of doing a bit of both, following a bit of program, but also sourcing stuff online and thinking of my own training programs, because I'm doing my personal training at the moment, so it's something that I'm interested in. So equipment wise, I've got 3 kettlebells, 8 kilograms, 12 and 16, so a good mixture of weights. I've got skipping rope, a ladder, I've got a TRX machine which you hang on a tree, which is amazing. Definitely I would invest one of those. And actually probably my favourite piece of equipment I've got is a weighted vest, so you put it on and you can put up to 15 kilos in it, so it makes the most basic of exercise really hard.
And is it also are you happy maybe on one side that after this whole COVID-19 started that they postponed the Olympics? I can imagine you was disappointed maybe for because you're living to it, but if you think now back to it, are you happy that it's postponed so everybody have like a more equal chance to perform there?
Yeah, definitely. It wouldn't have been fair to do the Olympics. Certain countries were in total lockdown. Certain countries.
Yeah, for example, here in the Netherlands, they start the field training again and everything.
Yeah, so firstly, it wouldn't have been fair. It wouldn't have been right to do it because the world would have been in a horrible place, and the Olympics would be a really big celebration of sport and countries coming together. So it wouldn't have been right doing that whilst everyone else was having a really bad time. And the Olympics comes around every 4 years, and you want athletes to be in the peak of their performance, and it would have been super hard for anybody to be in the peak of their performance with the whole lockdown and restrictions. So yeah, rightly so, it's been pushed back. Obviously it was a shame, but there's no way that I and the Great Britain hockey team would have been in any kind of form from the Olympics.
So it would be more like one big lottery or something.
Yeah, it just wouldn't have been right. So yeah, early doors in the lockdown, I read a quote and it was like, sport can wait, but saving lives can't. So that's the main focus at the moment.